Welcome. Now today this is our first lecture and we will discuss about uh, the preliminary things which are related to our subject. The title of this subject is Structural Dynamics and Earthquake Engineering, and its subject code is ST608, and this is professional course subject of our MTech curriculum. Now this is the syllabus for the subject. Structural Dynamics and Earthquake Engineering. This subject carries 3 credits. The teaching scheme is 3 hours are allotted as per the curriculum for this subject, 3 hours per week. And the evaluation scheme, since now we are following new pattern 2022, so under this pattern for this subject continuous internal assessment will be there for 40 marks and end semester examination will be there for 60 marks, and thus the total subject will be evaluated for 100 marks. Now this is syllabus for structural dynamics and earthquake engineering. There are 6 outcomes framed for this course. Course outcome means after completing this particular course or this subject, the students will be able to, what students will be able to do. So number one, that is first outcome is, course outcome is, students will be able to know the terminology related to earthquake and characteristics of earthquake motion. CO number 2 is find response of free and force vibration, that is harmonic, periodic and transient of single degree of freedom system. SDOF means single degree of freedom system. Students will be able to memorize the concepts of multi degree of freedom systems, MDOF, its response to the earthquake. Then students will be able to find natural frequency and mode shapes of multi degree of freedom system. Then fifth outcome is students will be able to summarize the earthquake resistance design philosophy. And at the end, the sixth outcome is students will be able to calculate the earthquake forces using Indian Standard Code. Of course, we will be using Indian Standard 1893-2016 Part 1 to evaluate the earthquake forces. And the course contents are, the course is designed in 6 units, and hence there are 6 course outcomes. First course outcome, it maps with unit number 1. The second, it is related to unit number 2. The third is related to unit number 3, and so on. So unit number 1 is introductory. So it includes definitions, introduction to seismic hazards, earthquake phenomenon, seismic zones of India, earthquake size, isoseismic maps, earthquake magnitude, and the concept of tsunami. The unit number 2 is titled as single degree of freedom system. So it includes characteristics of dynamic loading, lumped and continuous mass model, single degree of freedom systems, and free vibrations. Unit number 3 is titled as response to dynamic loading. The contents are harmonic loading, harmonic base isolation, response, dynamic amplification factor, transmissibility, and vibration isolation, and response to general dynamic loading. Unit number 4 is multi-degree of freedom system, formulation of equations of motion, free vibrations, frequencies and mode shapes, multi-storied buildings with symmetric and unsymmetrical plan, and torsional response. The fifth unit, it deals with earthquake resistance design philosophy. So introduction to seismology, strong motion and their measurement, characteristics of earthquake ground motion, and response spectrum. While the unit number 6, it deals with mainly the provisions of Indian Standard 1893-2016 Part 1, and it includes estimation of earthquake forces using the code. And here we will study equivalent static force method and response spectrum method. And these are the some of the reference books which you should refer. All these books are available in our college library. First one is Dynamics of Structures by Klog and Penzian. Second one is a very good book written by Mario Paz, Structural Dynamics Theory and Computations. Third book is also a very famous book written by A.K. Chopra, Dynamics of Structures, Theory and Applications to Earthquake Engineering. It is published by Pearson Publications. Then fourth one is Agrawal and Manish Srikhande, Earthquake Resistant Design of Structures, PHI Publications, New Delhi. And fifth one is Seismic Design of RC Buildings, published by Springer. It is written by S. N. Manohar and S. N. Madhekar. While you have to use the reference Indian Standard Codes IS 1893 Part 1 2016, IS 13920 2016 and IS 4326 1993. Okay. Now regarding the curriculum, since we are following 40-60 pattern, so our curriculum it includes continuous internal assessment for 40 marks and end sem evaluation for 60 marks. So under CIA, you are aware about this. Teacher will be performing or giving some activities like assignments, presentations, etc. for 40 marks. And for end semester examination, this examination will be conducted by the institute for 60 marks. And the examination will be based on all 6 units. Of course, equal weightage will be given to all units. Okay. So the practice which we have followed in the first semester was the end semester examination was conducted for 100 marks, and then the marks obtained by the students were scaled out of 60. So same pattern we will be following in this semester. Now this is about the books. These are the some of the books which you should refer. First one is Introduction to Structural Dynamics written by John Biggs. This is Indian edition published by McGraw-Hill Publications. Second one is Dynamics of Structures, second edition by Klog and Penzian. This is Dynamics of Structure written by A.K. Chopra. This is one of the best books for structural dynamics. Then Mario Paz. This is the one more very popular book for structural dynamics, and this is Earthquake Resistance Design of Structures written by Agrawal and Srikhande. And the third book is Seismic Design of RC Buildings, Theory and Practice, published by Springer Publications, written by Sharad Manohar and Suhasini Madhekar. So these are the books, and this is just an introduction of the subject, its syllabus, and the books which you should refer.